Welcome back. The ARCA Racing Series took on Talladega Super Speedway, and the guy who makes it to victory lane is Dakota Armstrong. Let's go now to Jim Trado.
And he was 18 years of age at the start of this race. He aged a few years thanks to this race team. This car was in pieces after Daytona. Had a major accident. They came back together as a team. You tested this race car. You felt it was strong. But talk about not only the pole, but backing up with a big victory here, Dakota.
Wow, first of all, I got to thank the 60 car. I think he pushed me that entire lap all the way around. And I think about 10 to go, I thought we were just going to ride for 10th. But, I mean, I can't say enough about these guys. I mean, they give me such a good car and worked so hard. I'm so happy we got sent to the pole and win the race. And I feel bad because my dad didn't come to this race, so I know he missed out. My grandpa had surgery today. I know he's doing good. I know he's watching the race. But, man, what an awesome race. I'm so happy I could bring his 22 Dodge home for victory.
You're back there with your teammate, 12th or 13th. They're single file. They're leaving you. What made it happen for you?
Well, I think a bunch of the cars came up from behind. You know, we got up. I knew that the 31 we talked about, he was going to come up. So me and him, the 77, some other cars came up, and they pushed us up to victory. And, I mean, that was an awesome race.
How about the calls by Paul Andrews on that pit box? It sounded pretty methodical, but how good is it to have that much experience behind you in your first victory?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, at first I was like, I don't know if that was a good idea, but it worked out perfect. We only made one pit stop, and the car was just amazing the whole race. I can't say enough. That was an awesome race for us.
At age 18, Dakota Armstrong becomes a 32nd different winner here at Talladega in the ARCA Racing Series. Wendy?
RCR development driver Tim George Jr. comes home third for your career best finish in the ARCA Series. How frustrating, or when you're going through the strategy of the final laps, I mean, there's so much going on in front of you.
Well, yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, I'm just listening to Mike Dillon, you know, what he says, and he promised me some oysters and a beer after this. So thanks to Cabana Cachaça for coming on board, and Chevrolet and Richard Childress and the whole 31 crew to put a great team together.
Now you're running for points. This is a good day for you, too.
Oh, yeah, this is a great day. We'll definitely maintain that top 10, and, you know, it just feels so good to run this well in a plate race, and hopefully more continues in a couple weeks here.
All right, Tim George Jr. third, and, of course, RC Richard Childress is right here to congratulate him.
Thanks, Andy.
Great run for Tim George Jr. We see the unofficial results. Dakota Armstrong with his first ever win in the ARCA Racing Series. Patrick Shelter comes home second, and Dakota gave Patrick all of the grace of saying, you pushed me around to this win.
Craig Ghost gets his third top 5 finish in a row, finishes 4th. Frank Kimmel just outside the top 10 in the 11th position. Chase Mattioli, a great run. Kyle Martell, both in the top 15. Steve Arp and Joey Coulter both getting spun there on the last lap, finished 14th and 15th.
Nick Igdalski was the last car on the lead lap in 17th. As we continue on through the list, Bobby Gerhardt coming into this race thought he would be one that everyone would be fighting to keep out of victory lane, and Bobby Gerhardt involved in that incident, our third incident on the racetrack. That damage relegated him to a 28th place finish.
See, Chad McCumbee had trouble on pit road. It looked like he broke a pinion on pit road, finishes back in the 33rd position.
Finishing in the 4th spot, the 81 of Craig Ghost. And Craig is standing by with Wendy.
Last week at Texas, it was 2nd place. Craig, you weren't so happy last week, but you got a smile on your face. You must be pretty pleased with 4th.
Yeah, I mean, where we started, we changed motors. The guys worked hard. I got to thank everybody at A-Sharp Racing. Everybody at the Speed Channel does a great job. ARCA, this was a great race for us. We had bad luck last year on the Super Speedway, so to come from 22nd where we started and end up 4th with a backup motor in the car, it was a good day for us.
All right, and these top 5s are what you need for those points at the end of the season, Rick.
Yeah, Craig Ghost with a smile on his face as he continues to battle for the championship in the 2010 season. The 13th different winner at Talladega in the last 13 races. It's Dakota Armstrong, able to celebrate at the young age of 18. That's going to go on for quite some time. Take a look at what took place in the ARCA Racing Series earlier today.
On behalf of Messina Wildlife Management, ARCA drivers, start your engines.
When the engines came to life, Frank Kimmel starting back a ways. Had to catch up to Dakota Armstrong. He had a problem, though. It wasn't as bad, though, as Rob Brent in the 36. He was our first caution. Blew the left front and into the wall.
See our second caution, middle of your screen. Benny Chastain gets loose. May have had a tire going down. Slides up in between two groups of cars. Fortunately, only a one-car incident.
Close calls. The first one, the 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
Nudge sends him towards the infield. Does a nice save. They're never even backed off the throttle.
Brandon McReynolds in the number 6 had engine problems. They were overheating, so they had to come in, raise the hood, put some water in that. Then the big accident.
Big accident. The 82 of Sean Core gets together with Mikey Kyle. That turns them into the 52 of Bill Baird. Turns him into the outside wall, right across in front of all this traffic. So many good cars caught up in it. You see Patrick Shelter getting a piece of that, and he was our second place finisher after repairs.
Fourth caution for debris off of the 11 of Brian Silas. Again, Brian was involved in an earlier incident, so they went to work on that race car, got him back out onto the racetrack.
Recovered to finish in the 18th position. And here's the last lap here. Everything went wild on the backstretch. Grant Enfinger led for so long. He got split inside and outside. Dakota Armstrong, the 22 car from way, way back, holds off. Patrick Shelter for the win.
Fine job of celebration by the 18-year-old. Again, becoming the 13th different winner in the last 13 races at this racetrack. And the guy who was leading going into turn number 3, Grant Enfinger, is with Wendy.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, 6th place finish is what it's going to show on the books, but your car was much better than that. How difficult is it to judge that final move on that white flag lap?
It's definitely tough. The bottom had been good to us all day, so just trying everything I could. The 55 was pushing me good, and I really got to appreciate him. He really pushed me about 3 laps to go. He bump drafted me all the way down the front straightaway, and really I knew they were holding back a little bit, so I was trying to stay in front of him on the back straightaway. Saw him trying to push up, so I tried to stay in front of the 55, stay towards the middle. Then I saw him coming on the outside. Then I saw him coming on the bottom, and I had a bad feeling then. So I tried to protect the bottom again, then come back to the middle. It was just too late. About halfway down the back straightaway, felt like I was dragging an anchor. But I can't say enough about all the guys with Beasley Allen, all our supporters from here in Alabama that came and watched us, and Total Instrument and Electrical Services that came on board, and Stanley Industries. Really got to appreciate them. We only got 2 more shots of this, so we need to bring it home.
All right, thanks to Grant. And those 2 more races are Iowa and Michigan here in the ARCA Series.
Thank you, Wendy. Celebration continuing for Dakota Armstrong, and it's probably going to continue for quite some time here at Talladega. It's always fun in the infield, but when you're hoisting the trophy, it's got to be a lot more fun. Next telecast on speed for the ARCA Racing Series will be the Pocono ARCA 200. That's June 5th.
Let's make sure we remember that Paul Andrews, a former Winston Cup champion with Alan Kowicki, is the guy calling the shots in that pit box. So a lot of experience up there, and really proves to be valuable here.
I think a lot of drivers got some experience today, Ken.
A lot of them learned, and you can tell a lot of them are learning really good and really quick.